The motivational story of Alex. The fall before the rise. The sound of alarm broke through the silence of Alex's small apartment in Boston, a city that always seemed to move faster than him. The early morning light pushed through the blinds, revealing a half empty room, a bed, a small desk with a laptop that had seen better days, and a wall covered with sticky notes of dreams that felt more like the reminders of failure than hope. Alex turned off the alarm and stared at the ceiling for a few seconds, his mind heavy with thoughts. He was 32, single, and had just lost his job at the mid-sized restaurant chain where he had worked for almost 7 years. He wasn't fired because of lack of performance. The company had gone bankrupt after the pandemic. Overnight, his stability vanished. His savings were nearly gone. Rent was due in a week and his car payment was pending. But that wasn't what the hurt it most. The hurt was that Alex had given everything to that job, his weekends, his passion, his loyalty, and still ended up with nothing. As he got up and brewed some coffee, he opened his laptop to check his emails. Another rejection mail, another restaurant wasn't hiring. He rubbed his face and muttered under his breath, "What am I even doing?" His reflection in the kitchen window looked older, more tired than he remembered. Alex had always dreamed of owning his own restaurant one day. Since childhood, he loved watching his mother, Eleanor, cook in the small kitchen back in Ohio. She used to say, "Cooking is like love, Alex. You can't do it without the feeling." Those words stayed with him all these years, but now love and passion seemed so far. Reality had replaced dreams with bills. Still, something inside him refused to die. Maybe it was pride, or maybe it was the small voice that kept whispering, "You are meant for more." That morning, he decided to take a walk to clear his head. The city was alive, people rushing to work, taxis honking, coffee shops was full. He stopped near a small diner called Sydney's Kitchen. It looked ordinary, chipped paint, flickering neon sign, but it smelled heavily. He stepped in, drawn by the aroma and pancakes and roasted coffees. The cheerful old lady behind the counter greeted him. "Morning, sweetheart. First time here?" "Yeah," Alex smiled with weakly. "Just needed some coffee." "Coming right up," she said. "Name Sandy." As Alex sipped the warm coffee, something about the dinner felt different. The walls were filled with pictures of customers smiling and the family pets. The place had a soul. People laughed, talked, and shared stories. It wasn't perfect, but it felt alive. Sandy noticed him looking around. "Are you thinking something?" He hesitated, but then said, "I used to work in restaurants. I loved it, but things didn't go as I planned." She smiled kindly. "Honey, life's a kitchen. Sometimes the recipe burns, but that doesn't mean you throw away the pot." Alex chuckled softly. It was the first time he had smiled in days. He ended up spending 2 hours there just watching people, absorbing the warmth. When he left, he promised himself one thing: he would not give up on his dream, not yet. That night, Alex sat down at his desk and opened his old notebook titled Dreams and Plans. The pages were filled with menu ideas, sketches, and restaurant interiors and motivational quotes he once believed in. One quote stood out: "The difference between winners and quitters is one more try." He took a deep breath and wrote a new goal on the last page: "Open my own restaurant in 1 year, no matter what." It felt foolish. He had no money, no investor, no team, but that sentence gave him something priceless: hope. The next morning, he started applying for small jobs again, dishwasher, cook, delivery driver, anything that could keep his clothes to food. After a week of searching, he landed a job at the Blue Door Cafe, a small family run place owned by Mark and Linda, a couple in their 50s. Mark was a tough boss but fair. The first week was hard. Alex washed dishes until midnight, mopped floor, and helped in the kitchen when needed. His hand burned from hot water, his back ached, but he didn't complain. He observed everything, how they manage orders, how they deal with customers, how food was prepared. He treated every shift like the training for the future. Linda nodded, seeing something in his eyes. Not arrogance but determination. Days turned into weeks and Alex became more involved in the kitchen. He started suggesting small changes, new recipe, better plating ideas, faster serving methods. Slowly, Mark began trusting him. One Saturday evening, the cafe was short-staffed and Mark asked Alex to manage the kitchen. It was chaos, a full house, delayed order, shouting customer, but Alex handled it like a pro. When the night ended up, Mark patted his shoulder. You got the fire, kid. Don't waste it. That night, Alex walked home in the rain, soaked but smiling. For the first time in months, he felt alive. A few months passed. Alex saved every extra dollar, avoiding luxuries, and started researching how to open a small restaurant. He learned about permits, food licenses, and marketing. He watched hundreds of videos and read dozens of articles, but every time he checked the cost, rent, equipment, staff, his heart sank. It was way beyond his reach. One day, while scrolling through listing, he saw a small, closed down cafe for sale. Owner retired, needs renovation, affordable rent. It was located in USA, a modest neighborhood not too far from the downtown Boston. He went to see it, and the next morning the place was dusty, broken chairs, old events, and but he could see it, he could imagine people eating, laughing, music playing, etc. He called the owner and the old man named Mr. Cooper and asked about the rent. It was cheap, but even that was too much for Alex's current saving. I can pay in advance for 3 months and fix the place myself, Alex asked. Mr. Cooper looked at him, amused. Son, this place needs more than fixing. It's need a miracle. Alex smiled. Then maybe I will give it one. The next few weeks were tough. He worked double shift at the Blue Door Cafe and spent his night cleaning and repairing the new place. He painted walls, fixed tables, and repaired pipes with YouTube tutorials. Sometimes he slept on the floor with nothing but a blanket and a dream. His friend thought he had gone crazy. One night, his childhood friend Ryan visited and said, Bro, you are wasting your time. You don't even have a proper plan or chef. Alex replied calmly, I don't need everything to start. I just need to start. Ryan said, You have changed, man. You used to be logical. Alex smiled faintly. Maybe logic never built anything great. Weeks turned into months. Slowly the broken cafe started to come alive. He painted the name on the door himself. Alex's Kitchen, named after his late mother's suggestion. When he saw those letters dry on the window, he felt tears in his eyes. This wasn't just a business, it was way of honoring her and himself. But the real challenge began after opening. The first month was silent, hardly any customers, flyers went unnoticed, social media posts got no response. Some days not a single person walked in. Alex spent those nights sitting alone by the counter, staring at the empty tables, wondering if he made a mistake. Bills started piling up. he was behind on the rent again. One night, sitting in the dark, he whispered to himself, maybe Ryan was right. Maybe dreams are not enough. He thought about quitting, selling the place, getting a normal job again, but then he looked at the photo of his mother on the wall. Her warm smile seemed to say, keep going, Alex. The next morning, he decided to try one more idea, a community dinner night. He invited locals to come and eat for free just to experience the food. He put flyers everywhere, knocked on doors, even cooked the food himself. That evening, people showed up. Curious neighbors, families, some kids. Alex cooked with all his heart, the laughter, the smell, the joy, etc. It brought place to life again. The next day, something unexpected happened. One of the guests from the dinner posted a photo of the food online saying hidden gem in Somerville. The best homemade food I have ever tried in a year. Within a week, more people started visiting, then more. One evening, as Alex served a young couple, he saw Mark and Linda walk in. They smiled proudly. Linda said, we saw the article online. You did it, Alex. He grinded. Stayed a long way to go, but it's a start. Mark laughed. Every great restaurant starts with the empty chair. That night, the cafe was full. For the first time, the tables were busy, the air was warm, and the Alex felt like he was exactly where he belonged. But deep down, he also knew something. Success attracts storm, and his storm was just beginning. Part 2. The storm behind success. The next few months changed everything for Alex. Alex's Kitchen became more than just a small restaurant. It became a name whispered in Somerville for its warm, comfort food and genuine hospitality. People didn't just come to eat, they come to feel something. The menu was simple: homemade pasta, sandwiches, pies, etc. Nothing fancy, but every dish carried Alex's heart. He would walk from the table to table, talk to customers, listen to their stories, and remember their names. Soon, food bloggers started visiting. A small article titled "The Restaurant with a Soul" went viral on the local magazine. Overnight, Alex's Kitchen was packed. People lined up outside, laughter and chatter filled the place every night. Alex couldn't believe it. One evening, while wiping the table, Alex saw a family enjoying a dinner and smiling. For a second, he felt the kind of the peace that he hadn't felt in years. He thought of his mother. You will be proud, Mom, he whispered softly. But success, he soon learned, doesn't come with a pride. With the sudden growth, some came chows. The demand was higher that Alex could handle it alone. He needed staff, cooks, servers, suppliers. He had to manage everything. He had to manage inventory, payroll, and taxes. It wasn't just about cooking anymore, it was about the survival in the business. He decided to hire a small team. One of the first hires was Jake, a young chef with great attitude and creative ideas. Jake quickly became like a younger brother to Alex, full of energy and dreams. Then came Emma, a waitress who handled customers with grace and patience. She was kind, strong, and had eyes that always carried warmth. Emma often stayed late, helping Alex with cleaning and paperwork. Slowly, friendship turned into something deeper. Alex found himself smiling more when she was around. Though he never said it out loud, he wasn't sure if it was a love or just comfort after a year of loneliness. But early summer, Alex's Kitchen was at its peak. People from all over the Boston came to eat there. Alex had even started a small catering service, but with popularity came competition. A big restaurant chain, the Urban Spoon, opened just 2 blocks away. It had modern interiors, celebrity chefs, and massive marketing. Within weeks, some of Alex's regular customers started drifting away. Jack tried to keep him calm. Don't worry, boss. They have fancy lights, but we have heart. Alex smiled, but inside he was worried. Rent was going up, expenses were climbing again, small savings were vanishing, and he was scared again. One Friday night, Alex stayed late to balance the account. The number didn't look good despite the rush. Profit was shrinking. He was spending more than earning. Supplier cost more. The customer was expecting more. At midnight, he started at the bills. Emma walked with 2 cups of coffee. You are still working? She asked softly. He nodded. I don't know, Emma. I thought I was getting somewhere. Now it feels I am stuck again. She placed a hand on his arm. Alex, you built this from nothing. Maybe you can't see it now, but you have changed people's lives, including mine. Her word comforted him. That night, Alex realized success was about never falling. It was about how many times you fall and how many times you stand back. The next few weeks, he doubled down. He introduced new dishes, started offering loyalty cards, and organized small live music nights. Slowly, the restaurant started regaining its charm. But faith had another test waiting. One Monday morning, Alex reached the restaurant and found the back door open. Inside, the safe was missing. Cash, records gone. Panic hit him like lightning. He called police. The investigation revealed that something shattered him. Jake, the chef he trusted like a brother, had taken the money and disappeared. For hours, Alex sat on the floor of the kitchen staring at the empty safe. His chest felt heavy. Betrayal wasn't new to him, but this one hurt deeper. Emma found him there silent, broken. She sat beyond him and whispered, You didn't lose money. Alex, you lost someone who didn't deserve your trust. He looked up at her empty eyes. I trust him like a family. I know, she said gently, but family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the one who stays. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. The betrayal had reopened old wounds, memories of his father leaving when he was kids, of being told he would never make it, of losing before everything was right. But somewhere between the pain and silence, the inner voice returned, the same of the once whispered, You are meant for more. He made a decision. He wasn't going to let him destroy. He started again, even stronger. He borrowed some money from Mark, his old boss, at the Blue Door Cafe, promising he will repay every cent. Mark didn't hesitate. You got a fighter heart, Alex. I trust that. With that, Alex rebuilt. He rehired staff, repaired systems, and added tighter security. One evening, when the restaurant was finally steady again, Alex took a walk to clear his head. He ended up at Sandy's dinner, the place where his dream had once reignited. Sandy smiled as soon she saw him. Well, look who made it big. Alex laughed, trying to. It's not easy. She poured him a cup of coffee. Honey, if it was easy, everyone would do it. He nodded. Sometimes I wonder if I am doing the right thing. It feels like every time I take one step forward, life pushes me 2 steps back. Sandy leaned on the corner, then pushed harder. You don't win this life by waiting for calm seas. You win by learning to sail through the storm. Her words hit him harder. He smiled. Thanks, Sandy. I needed that. As months passed, Alex's restaurant began to stand strong again. Word spread. The Alex kitchen was not just about the food, it was about the heart, honesty, and hope. One night, Emma fainted while working. Alex rushed her to the hospital. Diagnosis was devastating, a rare heart condition that required surgery. The cost was massive, far more than she could afford. Emma tried to smile, though it. Don't worry about me, Alex, I will be fine. But Alex couldn't ignore it. She had stood by him through every failure. He couldn't stand by and watch her suffer. He decided to raise funds through a charity event, a night of hope dinner. At a restaurant, he invited local artists, community members, and customers to contribute. The night was beautiful music, laughter, and tears. People donated generously. For the first time, Alex saw how much love his small dream had built around him. Emma had a surgery 2 weeks later. It was successful. When she woke up, the first thing she saw was Alex holding her hand. "You saved me," she whispered weakly. He smiled. "No, you saved me long before that." After Emma's recovery, something changed between them. They weren't just colleagues anymore, they were two souls bound by faith, pain, and survival. They spent evening planning new menus, laughing about old memories, dreaming about expanding the Alex kitchen someday. He tried to negotiate, but the new order had plans to build luxury apartments. "Nothing personal, Mr. Miller," the man said coldly. "It's the business." Alex stood outside the restaurant that night, staring at the glowing sign that read Alex Kitchen. His reflection in the glass looked tired, but his eyes still burned with fire. He whispered, "This isn't the end." The next few weeks were filled with desperation. He searched for new location, but rents were too high. Investors weren't interested in small businesses. For the first time, he started losing hope again. One night, while choosing the restaurant for one of the last times, Emma found him standing quietly near his mother's photo on the wall. "You are not giving up, are you?" she asked. He turned slowly. "I don't want to, Emma. But I don't see any way." She stepped closer, her eyes steady. "You once told me that logic never built anything great. So stop thinking with logic. Think with faith." Her word reignited something inside him. 2 days later, Alex made a bold decision to take Alex Kitchen mobile. He sold the old equipment, bought a used food truck, and redesigned it himself. One of the side of the truck, he painted the same words that Alex Kitchen, the food made with heart. The first, people thought he had gone crazy again, but when he parked at the food truck at the Boston Common, things began to change. The smell of the food drew people like a magnet. Office workers, tourists, students, even everyone. They were attracting by the smell of the food. One reporter from a local TV channel featured him in the segment titled "From Empty Plates to Full Hearts: The Story of Alex Kitchen on Wheels." Within a week, lines doubled. Within a month, he had to hire 2 helpers, and one evening, as the sun sat behind the Boston skyline, Alex looked at the crowd outside his truck. Tears in his eyes, he had lost everything and found himself again. Emma walked beside him, smiling. "Told you, faith works." He laughed softly. "Yeah, but it works better with you around." They stood there, watching the lights of city, knowing that the next chapter of their journey was just beginning. Because of for Alex, the fire within was burning brighter even ever. New heights, months passed, and success followed like a sunrise. New outlets featured him again. One more headline: Alex Kitchen from lost to legend. The investment. Opening a restaurant in downtown Boston was no a small task. Rent was sky high and permits were complicated. He would need investors. Through a local entrepreneur event, Alex met David Miller, a successful investor known for turning small food ventures into a national chain. David was confident, polished, and spoke the language of big business. After tasting Alex's food, he smiled. "You got something special, Alex. This isn't just food, it's a brand." A new meeting later, David offered to invest half the capital under one condition: he would own 51% of the new restaurant. Alex hesitated. "That means you will control the business." David leaned back. "You will still run it, but I will make sure it scales." "You want to stay small forever, or do you want to taste your dream?" It was tempting. For weeks, Alex wrestled with the decision. Emma was cautious. "Alex, be careful, don't lose your heart for what you built." But Alex's ambition was louder than his fear. The grand opening 3 months later, Alex's kitchen downtown was opened with grand lights, cameras, and packed with crowds. The walls were decorated with photos of old coffee and food truck. The drift. Over the next month, the restaurant made money, but Alex didn't feel proud anymore. Customers complained that food felt different. The laughter that once filled his cafe had turned into shallow chatter or corporate diners. Emma saw the change in him. One night after closing, she said softly, "You look tired, Alex. Not the kind of tired sleep can fix." He sighed. "I feel like I sold a part of my soul." "You didn't," she said. "You just forgot what it feels like to cook for people, not profits." The fire returned. Alex knew what he had to do. He met with David next morning. "I want out," he said firmly. David laughed. "You can't just walk away, Alex. You signed a deal. You will lose everything." "I already lost what mattered," Alex replied. It took months for legal battles, sleepless nights, and every cent of his saving, but finally he bought back the rights to Alex's kitchen. He was broke again, but free. An unexpected offer. Months later, while serving lunch at the park, Alex noticed a man standing quietly in a line. He wore a simple jacket and looked thoughtful. When he reached the counter, he said, "You don't know me, but I am Ethan Reed, founder of Heartland Foundation. We invest in small, community-based business." Full circle. The day the foundation opened, Alex stood before a crowd of young cooks, each with eyes full of dreams, the same kind of eyes that had told him the story of every failure, every rise. "Success," he said, "isn't about how high you climb, it's about how many people you lifted while you climb." As the crowd applauded, Emma stood in the corner, tears in her eyes. The price of dreams. Weeks later, he visited Sandy's diner again, the place where still all began. Sandy was older now, but her smile hadn't changed. "Well, if it isn't my favorite dreamer," she said, hugging him. Alex laughed. "Yes, I finally cooked up something good." Sandy poured him a coffee and looking him in his eye. "You always had a recipe, Alex. You just need to burn a few pots to find it." He smiled, sipping his coffee, watching people through the windows, strangers rushing by, chasing their own dreams. He thought all of the storms he survived: betrayal, loss, heartbreak, greed, and how everything shaped him. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he was free, and sometimes that was a big thing for him. The legacy of Alex's kitchen. The world outside was quiet that morning in Boston. A soft drizzle covered the streets, painting everything silver. Everything inside Alex's kitchen, the air was warm and filled with the smell of fresh bread. Alex stood by the window watching his student going to school, and everything was going perfectly. The spark never died. One afternoon, Alex received a letter from a small town in Montana. It was from a young boy named Caleb. Dear Mr. Alex, I saw your story on TV. My mom and I live in a shelter. I love to cook, but we don't have much money. When I grew up, I want to open a kitchen like yours, where people can eat even if they don't have money. Thank you for showing me that dreams that can come true. New challenges, even success built on heart, comes with storm. The foundation was growing faster than expected, donation was steady, but cost was rising. Some investors urged Alex to raise prices or seek sponsorship from large corporations, but Alex refused to let it become commercial. We started this to serve, not to sell, he told it his board. The collapse. A sudden storm hit, not of weather but of tragedy. One evening, Alex collapsed in his middle of the class. Doctor diagnosed him with the severe exhaustion and stress-induced heart strain. He was ordered to take months off. Lying in the hospital bed connected to machines, Alex realized something painful. He had been so much busy giving life to others that he had forgotten to live his own. Emma visited him every day, holding his hand. You have done enough, Alex. Let others carry it on. He looked at her weakly. But what if it falls apart? She smiled through tears. Then let it be fall, and we will rebuild again, just like we have always did. The realization. Recovery was slow, but it gives Alex some time he had never allowed him before. Silence. He spent days staring out the windows, thinking about his journey, the cafe that burned down, the truck that rebuilt his name, the restaurant that broke his heart, and the foundation that healed it. Passing the flame. On the foundation's 5th anniversary, Alex decided to make an announcement. The hall was packed with students, donors, friends, and journalists who gathered to celebrate the man who had turned the pain into purpose. 5 years ago, he began with this line. This was just a dream born from failure. Today, it's a family, and just like every good meal, it's meant to be shared. He paused. His voice was emotional. Starting today, I am stepping down as a director of Alex Kitchen Foundation. This dream now belongs to the people who believed in it. Even I couldn't. Alex smiled. I am not leaving food behind. I am just taking it to the new places. The new chapter. Months later, Alex moved to Portland. He opened a small, quiet cafe by the riverside called The Heart. It wasn't big, it wasn't famous, but it was people, and it was with full of people, and it was peaceful. He cooked again, not for crowds, but for connection. Locals came, not for the name, but for the warmth in every bite. Sometimes he see travelers who recognize him from the news. They ask, "Are you the Alex from Alex Kitchen?" He smiled and said, "I used to be. Now I am just Alex." The legacy. When Alex passed away peacefully years later, people from all over the country gathered in Boston for a memorial outside First in Alex Kitchen Foundation. There were no grand speeches, no expensive flowers, just hundreds of candles flickering in the evening wind. One of the wall behind the kitchen, someone had painted a quote from Alex's last interview. A dream is not measured by how much it earns, but by how many hearts it feeds. 10 years later, Alex Kitchen Foundation had spread to 20 cities. Thousands of young chefs were trained under Alex's vision. His story began a part of schools' lesson, business courses, and motivational talks across the country. But in small corner of Portland, the heart still stood, silent, simple, and always smelling to fresh bread. A photo of Alex hung by the counter. Underneath it, a single line read, "Cook with heart, live with purpose." And just like that, Alex's flame never died, it simply passed from one soul to another.